You're asleep, completely out, drooling on the pillow, probably snoring like a chainsaw. Zero awareness of the world around you. By every biological definition, you are helpless. Now delete your bedroom, you're in a tent. A sheet of nylon, embarrassingly thin. Between you and a forest full of things that could end you. Lions, bears, wolves, leopards. They hear your heartbeat from across a clearing. They smell you from a mile away. They see perfectly in the dark, you see nothing. And yet you wake up, every single time. Why? Seriously, a sleeping human is just meat. Slow meat, quiet meat, meat that can't fight back. Soft, pink, frankly delicious looking. Predators should circle every camp like a buffet. But they don't, they almost never do. And the reason isn't one thing. It's several, each wilder than the last. Together they reveal a strange, invisible truce. Older than civilization, older than farming. This goes deep, let's go. Start with the part that sounds like an ego trip. You are terrifying. Not you slouched on the couch, you the species. To a predator, we are a nightmare on two legs. And it's not obvious from looking at us. No claws, no fangs, not fast, not strong for our size. We can't even see well in the dark. We can't outrun a house cat. On paper, we're a disaster of an animal. And yet in 2019, scientists found something wild. They played human voices near wild mountain lions. Not gunshots, not dogs, just people chatting. The pumas fled, as fast as from barking dogs. Sometimes even faster. These animals drop full-grown deer like it's nothing. And they heard a podcast and noped out of existence. That wasn't a one-off. The same pumas abandoned kills they were mid-eating. They left dinner on the ground and walked away. From a survival view, that's an enormous cost. A wasted kill is calories burned for nothing. A predator giving up a kill is working for free. And they did it anyway, just to not be near us. And this shows up everywhere biologists look. Lions go quiet where humans walk. Lions in Kruger reduce movement near human activity. Tigers in India give villages a wide berth, even when those villages sit in prime habitat. Jaguars in the Amazon reroute their whole lives. These aren't animals that can't attack. They've decided as a species that we're not worth it. And the reason is one of nature's most brutal facts. We've hunted big predators so long, we shaped their genes. We've been active predators for around this long. We hunted mammoths and saber-tooths off the planet. Giant sloths, woolly rhinos, cave bears, gone. Species that survived ice ages vanished after we arrived. We hunted wolves to near extinction across continents. We erased cougars from the entire eastern U.S. One study named us the super predator. We don't just hunt prey, we hunt the hunters. We shot, trapped, and poisoned them for millennia. So the ones alive today descend from the careful ones. The bold predator that came too close, killed. The wolf that raided the village, hunted down. The careful one that kept its distance lived and bred. Generation after generation, it passed on the fear. Avoid the apes stopped being a choice. It became instinct, hardwired, biological. A memory written into their DNA. So when a leopard smells you tonight, an alarm fires. Not a thought, something older than language. Be careful, don't engage, move on. Passed down by every ancestor that survived us. You're a 2-million-year-old warning label. Now let's talk about your smell. You never think about it, they can't think of anything else. A predator's nose dwarfs yours. A bear outsniffs a bloodhound about 7 times over. A wolf can catch a scent from this far. Big cats taste the air with a second nose. The Jacobson's organ, chemistry we can barely imagine. And when that supernose hits you, the data is weird. You smell wrong. Like nylon, polyester, and factory chemicals. Like the burrito you ate 3 hours ago. Like soap, shampoo, sunscreen, and bug spray. A cocktail that exists nowhere in the natural world. Underneath all that, sure, a faint whiff of primate. But you do not smell like a deer. Or an antelope, or a rabbit. And a predator's instinct isn't generic. A wolf's strike is triggered by how ungulates move. A lion's by the shape and smell of prey it knows. You don't fit the pattern, you're not in the system. You're an anomaly, a glitch. And glitches trigger caution, not appetite. Now the most underrated move humans ever made, fire. Fire is one of the only things nearly all animals fear. Not learned, not taught, innate, ancient. Animals that ran from wildfires survived. The ones that didn't became charcoal. The fear is so deep it overrides experience. Lab animals that never saw flame still flee from smoke. It's burned into the evolutionary code. We tamed fire 1 to 2 million years ago. And for most of it, we slept right beside the flames. Not just for warmth, not just to cook. A campfire broadcasts into the dark. Something here controls fire, do not test it. And the predators got that message. For 1 million years. We figured out fire before farming. Before pottery, before writing, before the wheel. Fire first, honestly, iconic. Now the biggest myth movies ever sold you. The fearless, unstoppable killing machine. Pure fiction. Real predators are extraordinarily careful. Because they have to be. A lion has no health insurance. A wolf doesn't get sick days. One serious injury can mean slow death by starvation. There's no vet in the wild. You heal while still hunting, or you don't heal at all. So every attack is a cold survival calculation. Is this meal worth the risk of injury? And a sleeping human fails that math in many ways. One, unfamiliarity. A predator trusts prey it knows. It knows how a zebra runs and where it's weak. It has no idea what a human will do. You might wake up screaming. You might grab a tool. You might wake 5 friends. You might thrash in completely unexpected ways. For a risk-minimizing hunter, that's a giant red flag. 2, the size question. Standing upright is itself a threat display. Gorillas stand tall to intimidate, so do bears. We just walk around like that, all day by default. Even asleep, the human silhouette reads as not easy. 3, and the big one, why bother? There's almost always an easier option nearby. A familiar impala, a rabbit, something it knows. Why pick the strange, screaming, fire-wielding alien? The risk-reward math just laughs. Here's something that almost never comes up. Your sleep is not as deep as you think. Sleep isn't an off switch. It runs in cycles. Deep slow-wave sleep, then back up into lighter stages. And in those light stages, your brain stays on watch. It keeps processing the world around you. Familiar sounds get ignored. Unfamiliar ones break straight through to awareness. Scientists call it the sentinel function of sleep. Even resting, animals keep a partial watch. A twig snapping loud and close. A large animal moving through the brush. A strange new smell on the air. These yank you toward waking faster than you'd expect. And this is not an accident. The deep sleepers in our past never woke up, ever. The light sleepers, asleep to standing in seconds. Those are your ancestors. We sleep lighter and shorter than most big mammals. Because the dark always had something worth waking for. You feel helpless. You're a quiet early warning system. And then there's the group factor. Humans are almost never alone when they camp. We travel in groups, we sleep in groups. And groups respond together. Predators understand group dynamics deeply. Because their prey forms groups too. A wildebeest in the herd's middle is safe. The one on the edge is dinner. A fish in the school, a bird in the flock. Predators don't just hunt prey, they hunt separation. The isolated one, the straggler, the one cut off. A camp of sleeping humans is a group. And when one wakes and shouts, the others wake too. A chaotic group defense is exactly what they avoid. Now let's be honest, because this matters. None of this makes you untouchable. Attacks do happen, and they share one pattern. Something broke the normal rules. A predator too injured to hunt its normal prey. One starving because we destroyed its habitat. One that lost its fear from being fed by tourists. That loss of caution happens disturbingly fast. Or one that's simply old and desperate, past its prime. The Tsavo lions, Kenya, 1,898. 2 males killed dozens of railway workers in months. But these were unusual lions, both maneless. One had severe dental damage, normal prey was too hard. The Champawat tiger, early 1900s. Found by hunter Jim Corbett to have a shattered jaw. Shot in the mouth, 2 canine teeth broken. It physically couldn't hunt its natural prey. Every famous man-eater is the same story. Something broke, the normal math changed. Keep the ecosystem intact, and the predator healthy. Don't leave food out, don't skip the campfire. And the rule holds, almost every single time. Now one last layer, the most mind-bending of all. We've made nature so afraid of us, that we're now reshaping whole ecosystems by accident. Ecologists call it the landscape of fear. That 2019 study didn't just show pumas fear us. That fear cascades through the entire food web. Pumas avoid us, so the deer relax. Deer multiply, and the vegetation gets hammered. Coyotes and bobcats vanish near us too. So the rodents they control explode. Everything shifts because of a feeling we planted over millennia. It radiates outward like a signal, changing animals we will never even meet. One species, one inherited fear, rippling across the entire living world. So let's name it. The most dangerous animal on Earth isn't the one with the biggest teeth. It's the one that mastered fire before anything else. The one that shapes the planet by what it eats, and by what it makes everything else afraid to eat. The one that sleeps light and moves in packs, carrying 10,000 generations of survival in its blood. Built different, literally. The apex of the apex predators. That's not a lion, that's not a bear. That's you. So next time you're in that tent, in the dark, the nylon wall trembling, an ancient fear pulsing, let it come. That feeling kept your ancestors alive. But the thing outside the tent, it's not coming in. It knows better. It knows exactly what you are.